Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. I'm your girl Shea Dawson.
And I'm Tyneeha Rivers. Welcome back, troops.
Welcome back. I know y'all been waiting for us. Sorry, we're here.
We're back.
Yeah. What we got today, Tyneeha?
We have the biggest pain in the ass, but I'm hoping he's going to be on his best behavior. But
I don't want him to be on his best
you want
behavior.
him to cut up? Oh, God.
Yeah, I want him to cut up. I want the people to see the real Brunson.
Well, oh boy, you don't know what you're in for. But we have Rick Brunson here. I got some information I want to share that I think would be helpful for you guys. But Rick played in the NBA for 9 years, right? For multiple teams. He also coached in college and the NBA. Fun fact: he is the father of Jalen Brunson. And one interesting fun fact, just doing some research on you, which I did not know about you. I knew this about Jalen, but both you and Jalen are the fifth father-son McDonald's All-American. So
Dang.
1991 and 2015.
Hell, I got a Mickey D sign? Mickey D, I don't even know.
Golden oranges, I don't know. Right now he's the head coach at Camden High School. Got a bomb record, 49-1. Is that right?
Wow, you do your homework.
Yeah.
Wow.
But what I respect the most about you is that just your game, just your knowledge of the game is just crazy. You're always working on player development, coaching not just high school and college, but also pro level. I think a lot of the success that Jalen has is a direct connection to you and all that you've put into him, and the good and the bad, ugly and indifferent, because I know how hard you are on him. But I think that really pushes him towards greatness. And, I love Jalen. He's fantastic. But, just your knowledge of the game is unreal. You're the master at teaching. So I'm super excited to have you on our podcast today. You change lives. So let's pack into that and see how you kind of spread this is the last time I'm going to say anything good about you. Then I'm going to go back to not being nice. But, I would just love to know how you change the lives that you do. So really super excited to have you on Tipping the
Thanks
Scales.
for having me.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. So.
And I just want to throw out there that both of their sons were teammates at Villanova, for those listening.
Yeah.
And so this dynamic, I've been waiting for it, because I love how T talks about Rick and all that he's accomplished. I've been, a fan of the game, so I know both father and son. And I especially love undrafted NBA players, because I feel like those players really get and understand how to get the most out of themselves. So I'm excited for this conversation, Rick, and pleasure to have you.
Well, I'm ready.
So let's start from your hometown.
Beginning.
Where were you born?
Yeah.
What was your home life like growing up? Paint the picture.
I grew up. I'm from Syracuse, New York. So I grew up in Syracuse till I was like 14. It's been a long journey for me. I mean, I ended up moving to a place called Salem, Massachusetts, the home of the witches. The witch trial. They used to call us can we cuss on here or no?
Yes,
yes.
Of course.
They used to call us the bitches, so when I play basketball. But yeah,
wow.
I grew up in Syracuse. Like my family, everyone lives in Syracuse. That's my home. But I have ties in Salem, Mass, which I have some great friends still there. And then I went on to Temple and I'm making this my home, South Jersey. So I've been here since I was 19. So.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. What age did you start playing basketball?
I started playing about 9 or 10. I used to go down to the boys club in Syracuse and just started playing every sport. I started playing football, basketball, baseball, and I was horrible in all of them except basketball. So I stuck with it.
Who got you in the sports? Mom, dad, cousin, uncle?
No, just going to, you go to a boys club, picking up basketball, you start playing. But who really got me to play the game the right way and understand the game and make me love it was my high school coach. He was instrumental. I grew. I went from like 5'8" to like 6'3" in like a summer.
Oh, wow.
And so he was really teaching me how to work, teaching me to be focused. And I never knew anything about college. Nobody in my family went to college at the time.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Massachusetts, I can't lie, that changed my life in terms of playing basketball and doing the right thing in school.
Right. And I would say, at what point did you know that, and I asked Mikkel the same thing, and I'll tell you his answer after you give yours, but at what point did you know that, hey, I have this extraordinary gift and I'm going to play in the NBA? Like
Yeah.
when it was that aha
I'm gonna
moment
tell
for
you.
you?
I'm gonna tell you Mikhail's answer. I think I can guess it. Because it's me. Let me tell you. For me, no, you doubt yourself because your coaches tell you you're not that good because they're trying to motivate you to be better. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, or you have a bad night or a bad day or a bad week. So, because to me, I teach my son, I teach my players, you strive for perfection, knowing you're never going to reach it.
Mm.
So you're always miserable. So,
Oh
yeah,
God,
you
what a
try,
life. That's
Yeah.
hard.
yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. People don't
like,
understand what it takes.
Real.
yeah.
Yeah.
I live by that. Like Jalen, like people will say I was hard on him, and no one ever knew my relationship with my son. The question I asked him every day since he was 6 years old. Really, let me stop lying. When he was really got into basketball serious, it was like 12, 13. I said, "You
Okay.
sure you want to do this? You sure?"
Mm.
Yes. Am I too hard? Because like, if you really want to do this, this is what it takes. So he will always answer yes, yes, yes. And like, yeah. So to me, you got to strive for perfection if you're trying to be great.
Mm.
And you know you're never going to be perfect, but so you're constantly chasing that, and it makes you miserable, it makes you crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
making the NBA was when I finally made it. Because like I'm not like Mikhail, I'm not like Jalen. You know, yes, I was McDonald's All-American, but when I got to college, I didn't get drafted. I got cut. I was cut 6 times before I even got a chance to play in the NBA. So
Wow.
I was the 15th man. And honestly, I have a fun fact. I was I don't know now, but at the time, I was the only player that played 9 years on 9 non-guaranteed contracts. You know how stressful that is with 2 kids and a wife.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, so my struggle wasn't going to be my son. So whatever I did wrong, I was going to make him do it right. So yeah, but it was a great journey. I wouldn't change it for the world. It made me who I was,
Yeah.
who I am.
I Go
I was
ahead,
gonna
Shay. I
say
feel like you're
so
gonna.
so
Yeah.
yeah, because I want to go back to the undrafted, and I really have so much respect for undrafted players who make it to the NBA. I have a brother; he was undrafted. He played in the league 4 years, but I do know how it is to be on non-guaranteed contracts.
Yes.
He never
No
started
joke.
the season. Yeah, he never started the season with teams, but he always finished. But there was always that weird, are we gonna make it back on another team this year? So I kind of understand that. So what is the mindset of someone who keeps getting cut? But you're like, what is the mindset? Like, how do you have to tell yourself, like, who is in your corner telling you, like, what does that look like? You
It's
know?
crazy because I didn't have a father growing up. You know what I'm saying? The only father I had was John Chaney, my coach, and God
Yeah.
bless his soul. And he was like, he told me, like, you got to keep pushing. You can play in the NBA. But to go back to me, his question, when I knew I could play in the NBA is when this is a true story.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated from Temple. I go to the Sixers training camp. I was the last cut, and I knew. I said, "Damn, I can play in this league. I can make this team." And I should have made that team.
Mm.
So that's when I knew. I said, "No, I could play in this league." So I said, "I'm gonna give myself 2 years in the minor leagues."
Yeah.
And they called it G League. It was a CBA back then. I lived in Iowa in Hampton Inn, and I said, "I'm gonna give myself 2 years." And the second year, I finally got my phone call, and I made it. I went to Portland, and I take pride in this. Once I tried out for their team, I
Yeah.
never got cut. I made it. I was there the whole year, even though I had to
Wow.
wait to January 12th. Even I know the date of the cutoff date. I had to wait. Like, damn, they
Yeah.
gonna
Like,
cut me
you get that
today.
phone call. Oh my God, I know
Damn,
that feeling. Oh my God,
it's
that's
It's
crazy.
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 So
Yes.
and I always tell, and I did it with, at the time I had my son, and I was married.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. And then like what the reason why it's a struggle is because in the summertime you work so hard. Like my son and Michael, they work their tails off. But when you're the 15th man, you do triple what they do because you just trying to get a seat at the
At the
table.
table. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
You don't get the
So
same
it's just
grace as
like,
they do.
Yeah.
no, like I didn't. We went on vacation. You can ask my wife. I'll be like, yo, get a hotel. They got 30 floors. I used to run the steps.
Oh,
I'm not
Wow.
coming.
wow.
If you want to go on vacation, I need to have a workout. I need room, or I'm not going.
Yeah.
That was the deal.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
but I
Wow.
dedication.
wouldn't change it. It made me who I was, who I am, and also showed my son how hard it takes just to get a seat at the table. So
Wow. Where did you get that ambition, that drive? I mean, that grit. Not everyone has that
Yeah,
to
what were you
order to
playing
have
for?
that perseverance to really. I mean, you know how hard it is to get rejection and to be told no. I mean, the word no, I'm like, ah! You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest. So
no.
where do you get
So
that perseverance to push
so
through all of that?
so my mom, and I'm real open about my life. I don't sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah.
It's five of us, five different fathers. Just my mom, we lived in the projects, but she worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield for 25 years. She never complained, took a city bus, went to work every day. So I would
Wow.
say my mom, she worked her butt off just to give us enough to eat. You know what I'm saying? We slept in, me and my brother slept in the same bed. I'm not gonna paint a picture like we were just dirt poor, but we lived check to check.
Humble
And,
beginnings. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was tough.
Been there,
And
done that. Yeah.
yeah, my mom, like because I look around, like I asked myself that it was her. Like she could have stayed home and collect, welfare and whatever, but she worked. She continued to work. So if she could do it, and then my mother started going to night school. I remember I was 8, 9, and she used to get on a bus. I'm like, what are you doing? She used to go to OCC, it's a community college in Syracuse, and she would just go to she was just trying to make it. So I shouldn't say I think I know, I got it from her.
Mm.
And
That work ethic.
but one thing, and then when you're a pro, when you're a professional athlete, you don't like rejection. You got competitive fire. So if you told me
That's
no,
right.
I'm gonna show you that I could play here. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love it.
So your siblings, like were you the only athlete, or did you have people beating up on you? Did you have older brothers? Like what was that like?
So
I see you smiling.
no, well, I have an older brother, but time I got to the age of playing basketball, he had like moved with his dad, so I really didn't grow up with him. My older sister were very, very close. She ran track. She was a fighter, so she used to beat me up. I still got a scar. She's like, I got a scar on my face, my back.
Oh,
She was a real,
wow.
real fighter. Yeah, my older sister, she was crazy.
I'm seeing
And
that now. Okay.
my younger sister was the basketball player. So her daughter, Kyra, is a senior at Niagara. So she plays at Niagara.
Shout out to her.
So
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep. And I had a little brother, but he was, my little brother, he really didn't, play any sports growing up. So it was just me at the Boys Club, older kids getting punked, getting beat up. They used to call me white boy, because
you're light skinned.
You go to the white people, they call you nigga. It's just, but to me, all that made me like, I'm gonna show all y'all.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was trying to get to, is
right.
like painting the picture of like what it takes to push through all of those, like, and to Taneeha's point, the rejection, like that's what it was, is you had those people saying that about you in your head.
I mean,
Like, I'll show you. I'll show you. Exactly.
I share a story.
We love stories.
My mother, like, why do you continue to say this story? This guy, he would never see this podcast because he's a hood dude. But
you never know. We got love. We have love for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you know. I don't think you know what a computer is. So his name was Art at the Boys Club. He was like 18, 19 at the time. I had to be 12, 11.
Ooh.
And I remember driving my bike up there. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to run in here real quick. I'll be, y'all watch my bike. And he come back outside. He steals my bike, right?
Oh, damn.
And stole your bike?
To this day, I see him every summer I go home. He never grew. So he was so tall when I was little. But he's he's a little 5-foot dude, right? Every time I see him, I saw him this summer with my mother. I said, Mom, that's him right there. The guy I keep telling you about stole my bike. I said, where my bike at, man? Every time I see him, I want my bike. He's like, come on, man, you play the NBA? I said, no, I want my bike back. So I always joke, but like that was like, I'm gonna show you. You stole my bike, I'm gonna be rich one day.
Right. He tried to punk you. Like, oh, this little dude ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna steal his bike.
So come very humble beginning. Say, wait, I have a fun fact about your mom. So, of course, at Villanova, we all spend time with each other. We travel like we're one family. I love your wife. Shout out to Sandra. Hey, boo.
Hey, boo.
But your mom is hilarious. Like, if you can just imagine this, like we were stopping at a store like Wawa or something after a game, and she was teaching me how to twerk. Like, she was like, I'll show you. And proceeded to show me how to twerk. So that's
Hold on, wait.
the fun fact about your mom.
Hold on, wait. So you said you're mixed. Is your mom white or black?
White.
Your mom is white, and
she
she's
was,
teaching Tyneeha how to twerk.
Twerking. I was like, okay.
My mom. I'm close to my mother, obviously, but my mother loved black men. That's all day. And
Facts.
my mother taught. I could say this honestly. My mother taught me how to be a black man, like better than as she taught me how to be a black kid. Let me take that back. And she had the courage to say, "You're going to play for that man." My mother knew nothing about basketball. She couldn't tell you about basketball at the time. And she said it was between Kentucky and Temple when I was coming out of school. And she said, I don't know nothing, but that black man right there, he can take you to the next level as a man. That's who you should go play for.
Whoa. It was between Kentucky and Temple.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa, stop.
So, yeah, okay.
Temple at the time.
You gotta give context.
Country.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted now.
Take us back.
So Coach Chaney,
what year was that?
Coach Chaney, and who was the coach at Kentucky at the time? Do you remember?
Tino.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
On my visit, I stayed at the Wildcat Lodge. I never forget. It was a Saturday. I had just been to Temple the week before. I'm McDonald's All-American. I think I'm the shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I never forget.
You're still a bit cocky, sir. I just want to call you out on that, but okay.
A little bit. But I said, I never forget. I called Coach Chaney on. It was a Friday night, Saturday. I'm in my room at Kentucky. I said, Coach, I got to come play for you, man. And this is the type of person where he said, I know, son, I understand that, son, but go home, finish your visit, go home and talk it over with your mother. I'm like, I'm a McDonald's All-American. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you should be excited about me. But that was the point of how he was. Like, you're emotional. Go home and relax, talk to your mother, and then we can talk about it.
And your mom said, you're going to go play for that black man over there.
She said, I don't know nothing about nothing. But that man, that's the man that can take you. He can make you a better man as a black man. I can't help you there.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Because your dad was not there, right?
Yeah, my dad came the day I signed and gave me $50.
I know all too well.
Well, we're going to save that. That's a lot to unpack.
We're going to drop a pin right there. We're going to drop a pin right there.
But no, I think it was a good transition because I was going to ask you about your college life. Like, it's important because that's the preparation that you do that gets you ready for the next level. So talk to us about the time that you spent at Temple.
And Coach Chaney, what was he like?
Right? Ooh. Exactly. I know.
So obviously, that's he's God to me. That's everything to me.
Yeah.
He's taught me how to whatever. Everything I've ever done is because of him. I raised my kids the way he raised me. But getting to Temple, it wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm walking in like, as I'm a McDonald's All-American and
bravado,
he didn't care.
Swag.
Yeah. I barely played. I hated him. I wanted to leave. The only reason I stayed, I shouldn't say this because she's probably gonna listen. It's because I had a girlfriend at the time, and she made me stay.
Sandra.
she made me stay.
That's part of your story.
Yeah. So no, really, I remember because I was like, damn, if I leave, my girl. Nah. So my decision to stay was because of Sam. 75% of it, because I hated basketball by then. I hated coach. But then getting into all that, I get back to playing and getting back to, myself on the court.
Yeah.
And he was just tremendous, man. Just taught me how to play the game the right way. And I just try to pass it down to my kids in high school here and to my own son. And,
Yeah,
so
you
didn't play. So you didn't play your freshman year and you played your sophomore year?
So when you say you didn't play, and I look back now as an adult, I average about 18 minutes, which is a lot, right?
This is a lot. That's
but
a
lot. I'm Rick Brunson, man. I'm like, I had Eddie Jones, Aaron McKee on the wing with me, right? And I had this dude. To me, it's crazy. The point guard at the time, his name was Big Car Starfin.
Okay.
I replaced him here at Camden High. He's now the mayor. That's my boy.
Stop.
Yes. This shit is crazy.
No, Shea. Shea.
Circle.
What you have to understand, Shea, is that it's nauseating going anywhere with him. I complain to Sandra about him all the time because, first of all, wherever he goes, he gets VIP treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so he's at the Suns game. Of course, he knows someone. Suns are playing Dallas,
right?
And he walks up on the floor, just no credential, no nothing. Walks on the court. He gets an escort. Sandra comes. Poor Sandra's like pulling out stuff, trying to make a phone call. They're like, wait, who are you? And everywhere you go, either someone knows him and it's frustrating, they want to talk to him, or he's getting some VIP treatment. So I'm like low key jealous because I'm not getting any VIP treatment.
Don't worry, T. We on the way.
So let me jump into that.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason why I get the VIP treatment.
Tell him, Rick.
Break it down.
Your son, Mikal, would never get that. Jalen would never get that. You know why? Because they're gonna be on one team their whole career. I was on 25 teams, so I know everybody.
Okay. Let's talk about it for 5 seconds.
Yes.
So all the players out there listening, because we got players listening to our podcast, getting traded, the way they trade people is crazy, but being on different teams is so beneficial if you switch your mindset, right?
Yeah.
You can
loved it.
Right? You can touch so many GMs, coaches, you expand your network. It's like, you just got to change your mindset. So like, how was that being on different teams? Like, how did you make yourself like, no, yeah, tell me.
First of all, forget the team.
Yeah.
Think about the cities. I played New York, Chicago, LA,
and
Houston. I mean, I played other teams, but those are major cities. Boston.
Rolodex.
Oh, wow.
So my thing, and it's just like, you see, and I played with hundreds of players.
Yes.
Hundreds of players.
Right. So, and they're all doing other things now. So, wow.
Yeah. So that's my point. Everywhere, like, oh, Ray, what's up, Ray? I'm like, whatever. I'm a hater a little bit. Huh?
Like, yo, T, you trying to come down? You like, nah, I don't want to go down because my son Mikal.
T, go get me a water. I'm like, what? I want it brought to me, okay?
I would trade that in for those Gucci shoes.
You said you gonna bring that up.
I literally said that to Shea. I said, first of all, he's funny. I hope he really just relaxes and really be himself. I said he was literal. So I'm like, I'm trying to look a little good when I go to the games or whatever. And he's like, T, those Gucci, they real? I'm like, are you really coming at me right now?
Don't play T, Rick, because she be on point. She be on point.
Word on the street is
what?
Players, they buy fake things because no one's going to question them.
Yeah, they do.
Millions. They make millions. So I looked at T. I said, I don't know about them Gucci.
See, the only thing is people who got the money who wear the fake stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I actually, so I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I actually paid for them.
That's a bad thing.
With my own money.
I'm going to talk to your son.
With my own money, because you know what? And I don't know if you experienced this, but anytime I buy something nice for myself, they're like, oh, we see Mikal.
Your son. And
Mikal
you're like,
got you that. I'm like, no. Like even
you got too much pride. Stop.
But it's annoying because I don't know, because I work hard for the stuff that I have, and I just don't like when everything. Not that I would be against him buying me anything. Like we talked about that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When you go to dinner with your son, do you ever pay?
No.
Okay, stop right there.
But
go ahead.
No. But there are times when, like, for example, I was there last week. And he had some friends over, and I was like, hey, you guys I'm going to order Chinese food for everyone. So I still pay for things. Like, he didn't say, no, Mom, I got it. I don't know, Mikal, you owe me one, but I pay for stuff.
I hope Mikal's listening to this.
Okay.
I had to sit my son down. I said, let me tell you something, man.
Okay.
If I ever go out to dinner with you ever again, because he did like 4 times in a row with his mother. If I ever see your mother pick up a pocketbook ever again, I'm going to kill you. My mother to this day don't pay for a meal. And your mother should never pay for a meal.
Yeah.
I don't swallow you. That's your son. Pay for the meal, man. It's not even a question.
Jalen he's good on that.
He in the NBA, he sit back like this. He's like, what? Y'all always pay. I'm like, nah, you gotta pay.
Well, you know they say that Jalen and Mikal are massive savers. Like they save everything.
But hold on.
Wait, Shay. Literally, he literally had to say to Mikal. Rick was like, Mikal, you can't die with money. Like, spend some of that money. Like, it's okay.
Spend it, man.
Okay, I just want to break it down. So is it just mom, or is it like mom and friends and girlfriends and their friends?
Can't go crazy.
So I want to know, like, what's your take on that?
It's when we out to dinner as a family, which, yeah, of course. But it's like, Jalen's cheap and Mikal's cheap, I've heard. So I can see them both saying, let's split the bill. I can see that happening.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
They want to save. Look, I'm not mad at them because
I love this new athlete. I love it.
Look, right? Because we talked about this when we brought Mikal on about how important it is. And this is something that we talked about. And I know, Rick's laughing and joking about it, but something that I'm certain that they talked to Jalen about is about investing and saving for your future, that this game doesn't last forever. And the problem is with some athletes, and, Shea, all about this, is when they like spin. They just making it rain and taking care of an entourage, and you get a car, and they have 100 cars, and then you get a car. And then later on in life, they have nothing. And we want to make sure that when our men get older, that they have enough to save for their family. So the lifestyle they're living today, they can live it in the future when they're not playing. And that's really important. So, yeah.
What kind of spender were you in the NBA? I know you played in the NBA, and everyone assumes
he was making it rain. I'm pretty sure.
I just want to know, like, what kind of were you frugal, or were you like, I'm gonna show everybody I got it? Okay.
So I played. You have to understand one thing though. My first check, I played in Quad City. You don't even know where that's at. It's in Iowa.
No,
never heard.
It's 4 cities on the Mississippi called Quad Cities. There's 2 cities in Iowa, 2 cities in Illinois, so they call it Quad Cities.
Okay.
You remember the Quad City band? Remember the Quad City? They used to have a band called the Quad City, whatever they call it. Anyway, my first check was $800 a week. That's what I got in the CBA.
Oh, wow.
And I remember I used to sit on the bed, call Sam, listen, she lived at her mother's house. They give you a free house in the car in the CBA. I remember we used to be like, all right, we got to save $150 and pay this bill. So when you got to NBA, to me, it's not about the money. It's about your mindset. So if you're a guy whose mindset is like living lavish, it don't matter if you make small money or a lot of money, you're going to be broke either way. Broke people spend money.
Yeah.
So it's a mindset. And so I was never, I wasn't into it. I didn't make enough money.
But you trusted Sandra. So talk about that. Like, choosing the right woman also makes you a successful player, and you play longer if you have someone that you trust, that you can
absolutely.
So the things I experienced in terms of like women, right? And you watch the NBA, for me being in the NBA, and to me, when you get caught up at it, and I might get killed for this, but
preach, go ahead.
When you get to the NBA and you find a woman, when you get there, right? That's where the trouble comes in. That's where the 80% of men get divorced, right?
Yeah.
But to me, I found my wife my freshman year in college. Not saying that, nothing could happen, things could change. But to me, you meet your girl early, she know Mikhail, she know Jalen, she know Rick before all that stupid stuff, all the money gets involved. And you can build together. You can think together. When you get to NBA, you can meet them in the club, you can meet them in church. You met them while you're making that money. So to me, that's where it gets kind of dicey. And,
I think that's great advice for young people listening too, right? Like, people think, I got to focus, I can't get a girl right now. But I always tell guys, you can do both.
Exactly.
Like, especially if you choose the right one. She's not going to be wilding over here. She's going to be supporting you and helping you, because basketball is very difficult. Like, mentally, physically, it's very difficult to maintain.
Yeah. But what I can appreciate too is that you want people, the more money you have, the harder it is to find people that are truly authentic and who want to be in your life for the right reasons. And that gets to be a challenge. So I do, of course, there are people who find love and, they're not chasing dollars, but, shout out to Granger, because Mikhail met Granger when they were in college. And I know Jalen's been with his girlfriend for quite some time too, right? How many years?
So they met in high school. So junior, senior.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she,
that's awesome.
Allie. So I remember Jalen was like, "Hey, Dad, can my girl move in?" I'm like, "Nah, hell no. You gotta focus on basketball, man. The girl moving in with you." And I remember going back home and I'm like driving. I'm thinking like, you know what? If she's there, I know he's gonna be like he's gonna be with her. Ain't gonna be no other distraction.
Right.
Exactly.
So then I remember calling back. Like I remember talking to his mom. Like, yo, you know what? It's best, man. Like, let her go there, because that way I know he good. Like, he ain't gonna be, because temptations, the distractions you can get in this business. Because remember, you only work for 2 hours a day. You got 22 hours to be active food.
That's what I be trying to tell people. Tell me about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So no,
you better preach, Rick Brunson. You better preach today, son.
All I want from this podcast is some Gucci shoes. That's all I need.
Yo, you hear that, Gucci? We need a sponsorship.
I can't with you. I can't. Yeah, exactly. Sponsor me for sure. But is there anyone that you can say was, of course, shout out to your mom. We talked about how hard she worked to take care of you guys and, her work ethic. You truly get that grit and that hard work and that determination from your mom. But when you got to the league or, even in college, was there that one person that had such an impact on your life that really helped you and shaped and molded you to be the player that you was in the NBA? And then just the amount, your basketball knowledge is crazy. So anyone?
Yeah. That's a great question because things different. Like I said, Coach Chaney taught me how to be a man, a husband, a father, and also basketball, right? But for me to play the NBA and to understand how hard you have to work and taught me how to play the right way is it's two people, right? It was one, Tom Thibodeau, the coach of the New York Knicks,
wow.
Right? But he was assistant at the time. And when I was on the court the other night, Jeff Van Gundy was my coach in New York. And they taught me how hard, I thought I was working until I met them. But the unique story about both of those guys, I'll share this with you guys, as far as the crazy world. I went to high school in Salem, Massachusetts at 14 years old. Tom Thibodeau was the head coach at Salem State, a Division III school, when I was in high school. So I met him there. Wow. And my first basketball camp I've ever been to was Providence College, and Jeff Van Gundy was a grad assistant, and I played for him at camp. And then they're playing the NBA for that guy. But
I heard Thibodeau was like one of the hardest people to play for.
Yeah.
No, easiest guy to play for.
Really?
Yes. And that's,
why you say that? Yeah.
Because he makes the game easy. He's only hard to play for because I love him, but I gotta be honest. If you're not the top 10 guys, then I don't care if you coach them or I'm coaching. They ain't gonna like you. If you ain't playing, they ain't gonna like you. It could be anyone. But if you 10,
so that's why. Okay.
He the best. Like I live by him. Hold on. This is playbook. I that's my guy.
That's massive.
Whoa. Okay, you guys can't see this.
I
that's
still
listening.
Got it. Oh, you can't see it? Oh, sorry. Okay.
No.
Okay.
We can see it, but the people who's listening to audio won't be able to see it. But it's a huge notebook of thick book.
A genius.
With tabs.
He's a genius.
Like back when I don't know if you guys remember the Trapper Keeper days?
Oh my God, it is a Trapper Keeper.
It's like a Trapper Keeper with all the different little notes and tabs. So it's crazy.
So yeah.
Okay,
those guys were good.
So did they have any influence on you coaching?
Oh, no question.
Okay, yeah. So how do you get into coaching?
So it's interesting, right? You don't ask me how I knew because I just knew when I was always as a point guard. They always say point guard is going to be a coach. You know what I'm saying? I was always a coach on the floor. Always.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. I like the attention. I want to run.
Like
things,
talkative, like real.
Yeah. T knows I want to run stuff. Right. So, but when I was on the bench for every team I've ever look at the old films. Mm-hmm. I didn't play. I'll just be honest here, right? But I never sat at the end of the bench. I sat right next to the assistant coach, and I studied. Like I was watching him. Thibodeau was the guy in New York. Yeah, I would always sit next to the coach. Pete Myers in Chicago. You know, always sit next to the coach. Mo Cheeks, and I'm just trying to get insight, like what they thinking. So I'm coaching the game while I'm sitting there. I just didn't sit there like I wasn't good enough to be like, yo, I should be playing. Come on, man. I knew what it was.
Yeah, right. Right. I love that. You was realistic, and then you had an intention every day you came in. You wasn't just because I see some people sitting at the end of the bench,
chilling,
looking up in the stands, dancing. But you were like, I'm in this league. I'm gonna take all the resources. I'm gonna focus in. I'm gonna learn something, and I'm gonna take. Man,
this is why I quit.
That's what's
up.
This
is why I quit.
Yeah.
The reason why I quit playing, I disrespect people when I say retire because I'm not good enough to retire. I quit. It was over with. Yeah. Hang it up. Right. Like Mikal and Jalen gonna retire. I quit. So I felt like I couldn't work in the summer. I couldn't do the 3 days no more. I just couldn't. I got tired of this working. I just couldn't do it. I said, I can't. I'm done. And then I think Jalen was turning like 12 or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna spend my time with him or 10, wherever he was. I'm just gonna focus on him and try to get him right. So
yeah. Speaking of Jalen, I mean, that's a good transition in terms of just that preparation and the work and all the things that you've done to to get Jalen ready for the NBA? And, he's playing fantastic.
Yes.
He's like, I saw him, I was like, soon as after he came, I have a funny story. I had a concussion and this whole thing. So he always teases me about that. I'm not getting to that because I'm embarrassed. So
okay.
I'm not even tapping into that story, but
we'll drop a pin in that. We're going back to that. But anyway, keep going.
I hugged him after the game, the first game. And I said, man, I'm so proud of you. You look so damn good out there. So he's playing at a very high level. But just to take it back to when Jalen was younger, I guess my first question is, at what point did you know that he had like a talent, like he was gifted in terms of having that extraordinary, that gift of athleticism? And then how, like, walk us through the work, because you put in a lot of work with Jalen. Talk us through, like, from the very beginning, when did you know this kid was gifted? And then walk us through the work that you put into him to get him ready to play at the level that he's playing now.
I'm going to do it in reverse because I'm going to tell you, like, when I work with him, so I had the blueprint. So I said, all right, you're going to be everything I wasn't. I couldn't shoot. I couldn't shoot. I couldn't shoot.
I love this.
I know.
I didn't work as hard as I couldn't work as hard. I didn't work as hard at a young age because I didn't know. I didn't have no one telling me, yo, you got to go harder or whatever. So basically when he was young, we would work once a week. When he was like, let's say 8, I'd never pick it. At 5 years old, I didn't drill my son. He played soccer, baseball, basketball, football, every sport. I think that's valuable for kids.
Same here for Mikkel. Yeah.
And
so you have to learn how to fail. We can't be good at everything. So I think he sucked in football. He sucked in he was good in baseball. Soccer was he got cut in soccer. I remember that. I used to laugh at it. But my point is, I said, yo, basketball, we worked, let's say I work a day here. And as he got older, we increased to, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days. And then I remember one day, he was, I think, 7th grade is when we said, yo, we sat down. You want to do this? Yes. We focused on like 7th grade on, it was boom. But I didn't see that. I said, damn, he's small. And you notice he's small. He got his feet, think bigger than Mikkel. He got big old feet. Yeah, he was wearing a 14 in 8th grade.
Crazy.
Wow. I thought he was going to be like 6'10". It's like, yo, this guy is, and he's pigeon toe. I'm like, yo, this guy, man. But so I didn't know he was good. I always told his mother, look, your son is going to be a very good college player. I always knew that because he was smart. Mm-hmm. I said, he's going to be a good college player. I just don't, he can't play, he ain't going to play at the next level because look at him. He's little. He's like 5'9".
He didn't pass the eye test.
No. And so I say his sophomore year, it changed from sophomore year. We moved to Chicago. I was coaching with the Bulls, and he played high school in Chicago, which is the best basketball at the time. Jabari Parker, Jaleel Okafor, Cliff Alexander, all these great players.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And my Kendrick Nunn, all those guys are there, right? And I never forget, we started playing. I'm like, yo, this dude is good. Like, then we played him in high school, and he was like, he gave Jaleel, not I'm gonna say Jaleel, but his high school team, he had 56. I was like, okay, this dude is good, man.
It's good.
Like, all right, it's something here. Yeah. So I would say a high school sophomore, junior, where I said he could be special. And so that, and then I increased the workload. All right, you gotta go harder.
Yeah.
We, so that was what it was.
But when you say the workload, is it like shooting drills? You're working on his handle, like
conditioning.
Like all of
lifting.
That.
Oh, mental.
Oh,
mental. Because to me, I always say this to Jalen, right? You can never exhale. Once you exhale, you're done. So that's when I say increase the workload. Like you think you're good? No. Like it's always something. No. So I never let him say, "Damn, that was good." Like I always
to go like
you can't exhale. You done. Like you think, "Oh, I'm here now." No, you ain't arrived. Even now in the NBA, nope, we got more work to do. So to me, it's more. You're always going to work, but it's more mental and how you think and how you approach it. Yeah. Don't change your ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I say. That's when I increase. I didn't like instead of shooting 300 shots, let's shoot 500. No, I didn't do all that. Like,
so I'm a huge fan of players that come out of Villanova. Why Villanova? Like, why? I mean, I know Jay Wright, what he does, but what was it about Villanova? I asked Mikkel and T the same thing because he redshirted. So I want to know what. Yeah.
So I tell you this. So at the time, Villanova was number 1 in the country his senior year in high school. Yeah. I watched him. I'm a study. I study. It's my son's life. So we're looking at Michigan State, we're looking at Illinois. Now we're looking at Villanova. And I remember like yo, I said, yo, you can go. They need like it could be a piece. You could be the piece. It was to me, it was all about winning. And I know people think I'm crazy. It was definitely about winning because the individual stuff is going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
If you're good, I always say, if you're good, they're going to find you, right? So I remember
Facts.
visiting. And it's just that one piece. I was like, man, he could be a piece of this. And so we talked about it. And I wanted to come back home anyways. I was tired of the Midwest. I'm like, I'm ready to come back home, man. And this is a true story. He calls me up. He said, Dad, I want to go to Illinois. I want to be the man. Like because they kept saying you could be the one. Like you can take our program and put it back on the map. He said, I want to take that challenge. I said, man, this. So as
I'm
a
trying
dad,
to get out of here.
I said, how do I said, I can't say no.
Yeah.
So I said, all right. So I called Jay up. I said, yo, Jay, listen, man, you got to come and get this kid, man. He talking about his girlfriend is a year older than him, so she's at Illinois. So I knew that was part of it.
Yeah.
So I remember talking to Jay. I said, yo, you got to sell him, man. I can't. I said, I don't want to tell him he ain't going there, but if I have to, I will. But I need you to convince him.
Help me.
So
yes.
Make a long story short, it worked out, and it was the best decision. But I want to say this. I'm gonna put this on record. I say this to my boys all the time. It's about you, your son, Tyneeha. I swear to God, guys, my wife will tell you this. We went on a visit to Villanova, and your son was red shirt in that year. And I never forget this. And it was a blue and white scrimmage, I think they had, right?
Yeah.
And I said, damn. I said, yo, that dude. I said, that dude a pro. And I'm not gonna tell you what coach. No, I'm just gonna say this. The player they said, no, we gonna redshirt him because this kid right here we think is better. I said, wow. I said, that dude a pro. I just left it at that. I said, I'm out.
Oh,
I swear to God.
Crazy.
I told Jalen, I said, that dude a pro.
That's the
that
T.
blue and white scrimmage.
That's right.
They ran no plays for him, and he was getting tip-ins, running, playing deep. He reminded me of my college teammate Eddie Jones. I was like, yo, that's a pro, man. Like that's
some
a
people
pro.
say that, do a comparison. Yeah.
Man, when
I
watch
like, I know.
Mikal,
I said I ain't crazy. I know what I can see. I played that dude, and they were like, one of the assistant coaches. I'm not gonna say his name. Yeah, he all right, but this dude gonna be real good. I go,
okay.
Yeah, we got to show them. We show them naysayers. We'll make you a believer. Don't you worry.
So I wonder if that coach is out there now with this new contract. I wonder what he's saying.
I ain't going.
I wasn't going to go there.
Off the air, I'll tell you who it was. But
I think I know who it is, but that's okay because
let's leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. But that's okay because you're going to have people. How many times have people doubted us, right? Like doubted your abilities, and they can't see what others can see in you. But that just goes to show just your knowledge of the game, and you saw how athletic he was and how much hustle. Like that dude, he grinds. Good. I remember. Funny, but that you know how you have those like all-star games and in the city and everybody wants to put up 100 shots.
Right.
Mikal would be the only player like one of those all-star games playing defense. I'm like, dude, blocking shots.
Doing what he do.
The energy guy, exactly.
Exactly.
You know, and then the last thing is the real like going to Villanova. I've never we were offered money, we were offered job. We were offered my lawyer fees to be paid. Tyneeha, you know what I'm talking about, what I was going through at the time.
Yeah.
We got a lot of offers. Give you the ball, you're going to start. One school said, you just got to come in and be good, man, fit in. And if you start, that's on you. I can't tell you you're going to start. And Jay Wright, I was like, damn, that's all right. Man. And I'm from old school, man. I'm like, yo, I'm old school guy. I'm like, yo, all right, be honest. Let's do it. Now, it wasn't a great freshman year. As a dad, was I frustrated? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like things, but then you sit back and I was like, wow, I'm glad he went through that because now look at both of those guys. They're going to be in the league 15, 17 years.
I try to tell people.
Love that.
I try to tell people. And then I try to tell people just about how the pedigree you have to have and the adversity that you have to experience. Like we have to, as parents, as advocates, as whoever, like you got to let that kid go through that. Like, stop trying to save them, trying to prop them up and put them in the light. Like, that's their journey. Like, you got to let them go through that and experience that.
Yeah.
The one thing as a father, though, and as a coach, as mad as I was, even in NBA, I didn't like the way things were going. I didn't like the way he was playing. I never would call my son and tag team. Like, yo, man, they doing you. Never. I always put it on him. Behind the scenes, I'm like, yo, motherfucker, what the hell you doing to my son? But him, I'm like, yo, you got to do your job. Don't worry about nothing else. You just
I
keep
love
doing
it.
what you're doing. So that's
Yeah.
I
how
love
I
it.
think you should raise your kid.
Well,
I love
kudos
it.
to you, because I think one of the things that I appreciate about Jalen, and the same with Mikal, like those are two very humble dudes. You know, they're humble. They have a crazy work ethic. They're always working and striving towards greatness. So shout out to you and Sandra for just making him just a really good person. Like he's a
That'd be me.
good whatever. Don't you try to take all the credit. Sandra did some stuff too, okay? But just he's a nice, good person. And
Yeah.
you guys hear that all the time. I hear it about Mikal all the time too, that just off the court, he's just a nice guy and someone who you want to be around and spend your time with, and not just kind of rub elbows with because they're in the NBA. So that would not be able to happen without the work that you and Sam did. So shout out to you guys for making him
Appreciate that.
an amazing player.
And shout out to you two on here for, I'm watching, just listening to you guys talk about your kids is, I love it. I
know you do.
I love it. This is like, I'm in my comfort zone.
I thought I'd be
talking
talking about myself personally. I want to talk about myself, but obviously she doesn't want to talk about me.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about you for like 40 minutes.
I want to
bro.
tell you how great. Oh, so my career was only 3 minutes long? Okay, I get it.
I said, we talked with you about you for about 40 minutes. So now we got to show
No,
Jalen.
but see, I want to get into the current stuff like Camden, DeJuan Wagner, DJ Wagner, New Jersey Scholars. Like, let's talk about it. Like, that's what's current.
Yes.
How did you get to
49-1? That's
how did
time.
you get to Camden? You're in Camden. You're coaching a father's. No, I don't even know. It's grandfather, father, son legacy. Like, what's
crazy.
that? Please run it.
I'm friends with DeJuan for years. I like I said, I lived in Cherry Hill,
and I was a fan.
Got to know him, and I remember they came to me asking to coach. I'm like, man, I'm not coaching on high school basketball. I got none of. I know these parents. I'm cool, man. I'm good.
Right.
They asked me like 3 times, 4 times. I was like, nah, I'm cool. And then I remember Wani flew to Dallas to watch Jalen and I think Chris Paul. I think we were playing Houston, and we just hung out for the weekend, and we just had a serious conversation. Man, he said, man, I just like someone to teach my son. He actually said something. He said, like, I want him to teach him how to play. I never had that. I'm like, man, this dude was all world. The all-time leading scorer in the state of New Jersey, played, lottery pick.
Yeah.
Said, I remember going home talking to Jalen that night. Jalen like, Dad, just do it. You ain't doing nothing. Just do it. And I was like, you know what? He said, I'm telling you, Dad, like the way you mentor people, you should do it. Try it. And it's the best decision I ever made. And the dude, he's the number 1 player in the country. I mean, the dude he's awesome. He's a special kid, special human being.
Yeah, I can tell.
And so, like you mentioned earlier, there's 5 McDonald's All-American father son.
Mm-hmm.
Villanova had 2 of them, me and Robinson Earl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one here is Wani and his granddad, but they're gonna be the first father son grandson.
Wow,
which is crazy.
Triple threat, love that.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
And we're 49-1 and don't have a state championship. So think about it.
Because
so
of COVID.
You're coming after that.
Because of COVID. Because of COVID.
Wow.
We the first year we have one of our kids at Kentucky, Lance Ware. We're on our way to the state semifinal game, like on the bus, pulling up.
Yeah.
And got the phone call, hey, no game. The next year, which is last year,
terrible.
we had like 13 games
sorry.
they gave us. Yeah, it's crazy. So you got cherish these moments. I tell them every day. DeJuan Wagner can go down, can go down as one of the greatest players in the state without a state championship. Because we don't know. We hope this stuff clears up time. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask about that to see would things be different this time around, especially with vaccinations and things like that. Do we see maybe an opportunity to be able to play?
Right now it's on track for right now it's on track, but who knows?
Right.
I'm not. No one knows. This is crazy world.
Right. I hope he gets it.
What other good players do you have on the team now? Who needs to be shouted out?
We got a kid. So we got 7 Division I offers.
Nice.
Wow.
Aaron
That's crazy.
Bradshaw. Yeah, Aaron Bradshaw, 7-footer. We got a kid going to St. Joe's, Rasheer Fleming. He's a senior. He's a senior. And we have another kid that's a senior, Elijah Perkins. He's getting recruited by a lot of Atlantic 10 schools. And then we got 3 juniors that got offers from a lot of mid-majors around here. So
wow.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
That's awesome.
Okay,
Rick, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see.
We're gonna run through Philly school. Oh, my bad. Taneeha might get mad. Let me stop.
I mean, I'm not recruiting right now, but if you got any players, OTE, just let me know.
Little
Oh,
shot.
so hold on.
Look at Shay. She tried. Look at Shay. There's a little slide in there. Shay, I see.
So wait, Shay, hold on. Shay,
What's up?
Hold on.
What's up, Rick? What's up?
Because I don't know. No one gave me the update on you. No one told me nothing about you. So you work with Dave Leto?
I work with Dave Leto.
That's my brother.
Oh, he's so good. Oh, he's so good for the soul. So
he gave me my first job. I worked at the University of Virginia with him when I retired.
Out of here.
Wow, you gotta come down.
That's my brother. We used to go to. Well, I shouldn't say used to. We still do. My wife and his wife. We go. Joyce. We go to his beach house in Virginia. That's my brother. I just talked to him the other day.
Man, have you had his cooking? He always talks about how he makes these.
Oh my God! I'm
what?
done.
I'm just like.
I used to clown
hungry now.
No. I hope you listen to this. Make sure you listen to this. He wear that little apron with his name on it. He's so corny, man. Him and my wife talking about food. He's corny.
And he's the flyest. He's the flyest man I've ever seen. Like glasses, shoes. What? He's so fly. His little white hair.
Me when he's at UConn.
Wow. He's
small world.
That's my brother.
He's so deep. I love him.
Yeah. So Rick, Shea and I met when we used to work at the Sixers together.
Yeah.
Of course, I was on the business side, and then Shea was on the basketball side, doing like player development and everything you can. She is what, I have to give Shea a shout out because she had me understand what a true experience is in terms of really incorporating and bringing and making the parents feel like they're special and they're part of the journey, and with a focus on athletes. So shout out to Shea. Wow. She was.
Thank you, T.
She big time. Okay.
Thank you,
T. Say, don't come up to New Jersey because I know you only come up here to get some of my players. I'm telling you, don't come up here.
No, I'm not. I don't do that. Like I'm very authentic. Like I'm just a vessel. So if people have something that let's talk. That's really what it's all about. It's connections, relationships. It's what's best for the kids. So exactly. I don't steal players. I don't do any of that. Like it's not that deep. Like I'm working for God. I ain't working for So.
Wait, but before you go, Rick, we asked everyone on this show to give advice to me. Like this is I can't wait to ask you for your advice. So everyone they have to give me some encouragement on how to find love. So what is your advice? I look at him. So you guys can't see him, but his hand is over his mouth. He's like, oh gosh. I'm scared to even ask him that. I was contemplating. I was going to text Shea should I ask him because he's crazy with his mouth? But what's your advice for me? I was kind of dating someone when we were in Villanova and on McAlpin, and that didn't work. So
the advice I said, first of all, let me say this.
And you know her well, so go in.
No.
No, don't go in. But just, be gentle. So I'm
gonna say this to you. I won't mention any names, but I just saw you this past weekend, and someone asked me to connect y'all too. I was like, nah, I can't. I said that's my people. Like, not that he's a bad guy. I just don't
You don't condone it.
No, do I know him?
No, you don't know him. He's a great guy, but I'm always on it as a friend, as a family member. Taneeha is family to me. If it don't work out, you ain't coming back to me. I don't want to hear that. So that's why I was nah. But the advice I give you is you have to make the best decision for Taneeha. Like, I love your son, but he ain't sleeping in your bed at night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't think about, is Mikal a grown man? Yeah. And I don't know if you even think that. I'm just saying that to me. Like my mother, she dealt with that for years.
Of course, said, being a single mom, you do that all the time.
Yeah.
My mother's been married for 15 years now. But I remember I used to block it. Nah, I got you. You don't need I got it. But she had to say, hold up, this is for my happiness. So the advice I would just say, you gotta find your happiness and go with it. Even if your son may not agree, he might grow to agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't gonna agree anyway. That's just how we are. I don't care who you bring in. You bring Denzel in, he ain't gonna like him. So I'm just saying.
Okay, look, that was not bad. Look at you all grown up and giving out good advice.
Nah. But somebody did ask me. I was like, nah, I should.
Well, whoever that person is, if you're listening, you can DM her at Tyneeha L. Rivers on Instagram. He said he's not going to make the connection, but don't let him stand in your way. You know what I mean?
But Shea will, exactly. Well, look, Rick, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. We know you're busy. You got a lot going on with your team. So the fact that you've carved out some time to speak with us today, we really appreciate it. And we want all of you, we want to hear from you too. Like, we first want to thank you for continuing to listen to us every week. That means a lot. I guess our tippers, so we appreciate our tippers, those of you following Tipping the Scale. So continue to follow Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget to rate us. We want to review. How should I do that, Jay? Tell them what to do.
They can write us a review in the App Store, either in Spotify or Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, But you also can go on Google. And yeah, like I said, follow us on Instagram, Tipping the Scales Podcast, and our social handles are Tyneeha Rivers, and Overtime Shea. So
yes. So thank
you, Rick. We appreciate you. And thanks everybody for listening always.
See you next week.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks.
Take care.
See ya. Thanks, Rick.